Well, due to unforeseen circumstances, we had to cancel our trip to Coronado Springs, but we're not going to let a little thing like that stop us. We're going to Port Orleans Riverside, because they had an open room when we called them. Hey, I know! Why don't you come with us? And like all good hotel trips, it starts at the lobby check-in, especially when you make last-minute reservations. And like all Disney resort check-ins, this one's pretty cool too. When you enter Port Orleans Riverside, you'll come into a hub, and from there you have to decide where you're going to go. If you turn to your right, you head directly to check-in. Just past check-in is the Medicine Show Arcade. That's actually down the hall. But you also have access to the River Roost Lounge and Bar, which is a pretty nice place. You also have a hallway that leads you directly to the food and drink, and that consists of 2 restaurants here. And there's also Fulton's General Store. That's the name of the shop at Port Orleans Riverside. But we're going to cover that in greater detail later. For now, let's head over to the room, and we're in the Acadian House in the Magnolia Bend section. And like always, let's start with a brief tour of the room. Because we made last-minute reservations, we weren't able to get a king size, but there was a fully accessible double queen, complete with a pocket door to the bathroom that my wheelchair just barely made it through. Of course, this room hadn't been renovated yet, but that's okay. I kind of like the big old chunky style furniture. And I didn't feel so bad when I realized that everybody else hits the little piece that sticks out into the doorway to the bathroom. Now, for an extra $50 a night, you can get one of the 512 royal guest rooms, but I can't see spending extra money for a room where I'm going to have my eyes closed most of the time. Now, our room did sport the twin peepholes, and I also noticed the details and decor that probably are going to be missing when they do the renovations. So for now, let's head over to the fully accessible bathroom. And the first thing you'll notice is there are enough handrails all around the commode, and it is a raised seat. Also, plenty of room for the wheelchair to slip right in under that accessible sink. The shower, on the other hand, is a little smaller than you'd expect, but for an older room it was pretty nice, and all the controls were easy to work. And right down where you could reach them. But face it, the first thing you notice about Riverside are the grounds. We were staying in the Acadian House. The front side, well, the courtyard was right up against the parking lot, and the back side, well, that fronted the river. Now, the Acadian House is just one of 4 antebellum plantation-style houses that are located over at Riverside, and they were all gorgeous. Located next to Acadian House is Magnolia Terrace. We stayed here the last time we were there and really enjoyed it. This is the one you can see directly across from Old Man Island, where the main pool is located. But there's no need to go over there because Magnolia Terrace also has a swimming pool. A quiet pool. And it was also really nice. It's not zero entry, but it does have a lift and handrails. And as I was soon to discover, it was a wee bit chilly too. Although, to be fair, it was the first day of autumn. But we are still in Florida. Well, continuing down the Sassagoula River from Magnolia Terrace, there's... Oh yeah, I didn't mention the carriage ride. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes, because it allows you to just step back in time to the antebellum period. But for right now, let's continue on down, because next is Oak Manor. That's the next of the homes along the mighty Sassagoula River. Oak Manor is our big brick mansion, and it's also home to the Movies Under the Stars, right here on the lawn, nightly at 8:30 p.m. And Oak Manor also has a pool. It's almost exactly like the one over at Magnolia. And our next stop on the tour is going to be the last of the houses, and that is Parteree Place. And I gotta tell you, this place looks gorgeous at night. But it's not nighttime now, so let's go ahead and cross the pedestrian bridge over to the main building. And I guess I should give you a fair warning now. It's kind of like a super highway for golf carts. swear I'm not replaying the same video. These things were even worse than they were at Coronado Springs. And still, not electric. And it wasn't just at night, it was like this in the daytime too. Even if you're just enjoying a nice cruise on the Sassagoula steamboats. But he did stop to help this guest who had questions, so I guess that's something. And I'll bet it's kind of hard to maintain the ambience of the carriage ride when you've got a golf cart right on your tail. And don't think you can avoid it by driving around to the front, because for some reason the golf carts are on the road here too. And he wasn't going nearly as fast as he could. He was just holding us up. I'm pretty sure he was doing that just because he could. But eventually we made it around to the main building and had to decide between the Riverside Mill and boat rights. We went with boat rights. And even though we didn't have reservations, the friendly staff was able to get us a table within 15 minutes. Now, we'd never eaten at boat rights before. The only time I actually went in, it was closed just so I could take pictures of the decor. But despite a couple of bad reviews, we were going to go ahead and try it. And quite frankly, I'm glad we did. Now, they do have a fixed price menu available, but we decided we'd order off the regular menu. And in skipping appetizers, we went right to the entrees, and I got the Big Easy. It's a grilled 10-ounce New York strip steak with crayfish, mac and cheese, and a blackberry port demi-glaze. And while not the best steak I've had on property, it was pretty good. Now, after dinner, we considered stopping at the River Roost, our proprietor of adult libations, but Cowboy Bob wasn't working that night, so we decided to go back to the room and call it a day. Now, early the next day after getting up, we decided to go over to the Riverside Mill and have some lunch. We may have slept in a little longer than usual. The Riverside Mill is Port Orleans Riverside food court, and it's about what you'd expect from a food court at a moderate resort. It's really crowded most of the time, but there are several choices. Me, on the other hand, I knew exactly what I wanted, and although I can't get around the stanchions there at the end, I'm still going to go over and get exactly what I want at the grill stand. And after placing my order, she delivered to me my fried shrimp platter dinner. It was fantastic. Now, there are a number of other choices, such as the pizza window and the carving station where they make sandwiches. My wife was particularly fond of the carved turkey. And to be perfectly honest, we could have just ordered that and shared it. There was plenty of food there. And of course, there's a bakery with plenty of dessert options. If you're on the dining plan, they also had several snack options available there. Wheelchair users, be forewarned, due to the weird angles that the cashier stands are set up, in one area the two counters don't permit a wheelchair to be able to go through there. I had to go around. So be careful with that when you head over to the cashier to pay for your food. Seating at the Riverside Mill is first come, first serve, and there's plenty of seating available, and even a spot for the kids to hang out and watch, well, the Disney Channel. Your condiments and the drink station are centrally located in the middle of the dining hall. That's also where you'll find the mug wash stations. There's two of them at Riverside Mill. And of course, there's the toaster station for warming up those Mickey waffles in the morning. And of course, they do sell, and you can refill your resort refillable mugs here. Overall, I was pretty pleased with the Riverside Mill, and I guess I'd recommend it to guests of the resort. But since we're done here, let's try back over at the River Roost. And it looks like the bar is closed and there's really no entertainment right now. But there's still plenty to do outside. We could go on over and get our hair braided if my hair was more than half an inch long. Or we could head into the Medicine Show arcade and try our hand at some skee-ball. Although there really are a number of other things we could do here. good at skee ball back at the Ocean City, New Jersey boardwalk.
Can't handle the pressure, huh?
I did say used to be really good at skee ball. Okay, maybe not so much anymore.
There we go.
Oh, but let me tell you the best part. How we financed this little soiree into the arcade. You head on over to the Riverside Levee, you know, the bike rental place, and pick up a scavenger hunt card. As you travel around the property, you just go to the places that are pictured on the card and take a picture of yourself with that item. Then you return it to the Riverside Levee bike rental barn, and they will provide you with a $5 arcade gift card. And while there, you could also rent a Surrey bike to tour around the property. Yep, it seems like bike rentals are a pretty popular thing to do at Riverside. Now, what about that carriage ride I promised you? Well, carriage rides are available nightly from 5:30 to 9:30, and they seat either 4 adults or 2 adults and 3 children for $55. Now, there may be an occasional time when you come by and see the horse all tethered up there and drinking water, but for the most part, they were out running and not available, so reservations are recommended. And it looks like a really great way to see the Riverside Resort. And just tell me that the clopping of the horse's hoofs just doesn't take you to another place in time. But if you just have to be around a lot of loud fun, that's over the Old Man Island swimming pool. That's our guarded pool here at Riverside. There is a fully handicap accessible hot tub
Somebody's going to come down.
and a really cool water slide for kids of all ages. There are a couple other ways to relax over by the pool. They have a nice set of hammocks and, of course, the Muddy Rivers pool bar. But of course, if you're in a wheelchair, you'll need to leave the pool area and head around back to where the ramp is located. Also located on Old Man Island is the campfire on the bayou, where nightly from 6:30 to 7:30 you can make s'mores. Or you could also head over to the old fishing hole, where you can go for catch and release fish. Of course, if you want to go all out, guided fishing tours are available every day from the marina. But I guess before it gets too late, we should check out the rest of the grounds, because we haven't even been over to Alligator Bayou yet. That's the other village over at Riverside. It's also home to one of the favorite rooms I ever had while I've stayed on Disney property, and that's because it's right next to the dining hall. And if I gotta be honest, I really do like Alligator Bayou's environment better. It gives you that woodsy, well, bayou feel. Although I kind of get the feeling that handicap accessibility was an afterthought here. If you know what I mean. Now, Alligator Bayou, well, they have to share 3 separate pools in their area. And they really are nice, quiet, relaxing, quiet pools. I know, I can hear you now. But what about the shopping? You promised you'd take us shopping. Well, I lied. I'm gonna do that in a separate video. So for now, let's just sit back, relax, and enjoy our evening at Port Orleans Riverside. I highly recommend this resort to everybody, especially those in wheelchairs. See, I told you Emmy was looking for your comments and likes. And if you did like the video, why don't you go ahead and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, don't forget to click on that bell icon. That way you'll be notified the next time I upload a video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hey, I said we're going to do that in another video.